Hey everyone, as mentioned in the daily financial news this morning, we got the rock star Omar with us for our second of two expert series today. How you doing, buddy?
Pretty good, Michael. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. I look forward to our discussions every week. You are my real estate entrepreneur. You are that individual that has the ability to look at a deal and can disposition it lots of different ways, which is why I appreciate our weekly conversations.
As do I. Thank you,
Thanks, man.
Michael.
Thanks, Matt. So the first thing I want to talk about is I think you and I have been talking about for the last 30 days or so that we expect the market in 2021 to be very different than 2020.
Yep.
A couple of weeks ago, we highlighted you walked through a deal and we're like, yeah, you know what? Deals are getting done now, right? It's definitely a different market. I think it's even gotten more interesting in the 2 weeks since that. So why don't you just talk about what's going on in your market? What are you seeing? What are you doing? What's the team doing and seeing? And I'll talk about what I'm seeing as well.
Okay. Let's start off as the brokerage. The leads that are coming in for people wanting to buy, and people wanting to sell are just through the roof. All of a sudden, we get an influx of leads, and they're just converting. I mean, Zillow. Obviously, nobody likes to talk about Zillow, but Zillow phone calls are, they're awesome. I mean, one of my newest agents got 5 new escrows in the last week, and $1.7 million worth of real estate, and which is really good on the
Jesus.
price side. I know, brand new in the business. He got licensed in October of last year.
Wow.
So it's cool. The environment, is the biggest, I think the biggest attribute for someone that starts off to be in the correct environment.
Yeah.
Sellers are just calling. They're like, hey, Omar, what's the market doing? I want to sell. I want to sell. And it's like, where are you going to go? Okay. We have 400 properties for sale this month, when last year we had 1,280 houses for sale.
Oh my God.
So there is a huge demand right now. At least, obviously we talk about 13, 14 people or buyers per property per seller. And these sellers but they want to sell and move up or move down, whatever. But now they're understanding like, hey, they might want to rent. So now that's becoming a popular thing. There's like 7 or 8 of our people that are selling and they're renting. And it's like, wow. Okay.
That's
So when that
interesting.
starts happening,
Yeah.
super interesting, because there's not enough houses to rent either. So where are we at? Okay. And then to top it off, that's the brokerage side. Now the investment side of it.
One sec. Let's talk about the brokerage side. Let's just put a pin in
Okay.
that. So
Okay.
that's interesting, right? Because again, I look forward to our discussions because again, you have this plethora of inputs that I just suck up and absorb. And what you just brought up is your brokerage is a leading indicator. It's a leading indicator for me because when does mom and pop think about selling their place? What do? They call a brokerage, right? They just
Yep.
want a phone conversation.
They do. That's it.
So the fact that your phone is ringing off, ringing off, I don't want to over exaggerate. Let's compare.
Ringing. It's ringing.
It's ringing now in mid-February. Like last September, not very active. Last April, not very active, or what? Or I'm trying to get the comparison, I guess.
Well, let's compare it to, I mean, you remember February last year,
Yeah.
It was before COVID.
Correct. That's true. So yeah.
Okay.
Is it much different than the summer, right?
You know what? Right now, there is no season because the inventory is so low. So there isn't an up and down season like it normally is.
Interesting.
Remove COVID from the equation, and you have January, February is a little bit slower. Hence, last year, 2020, but there was 1,250 properties for sale in our whole high desert, and now there's 400.
Yeah.
So, just based on demand, it's going crazy. Obviously, interest rates, everything, all that factors in. But a normal season, yeah, it heats up in the summer.
Yeah.
Wintertime, it slows down. January, February, everyone's like, dang, I don't have no escrows. What's going on?
Right.
Spring starts happening. Oh, everyone's starting to get busy. Summer, everyone's full steam.
Yeah. So this is exactly what I thought was coming. And I've said it. So the beauty of having videos on YouTube is they're recorded so people can go back and check me. But I said what's going to happen after the beginning of the year is people are going to start to feel a little better. They're going to start to feel their equity in their homes. They're going to start seeing the headlines and they're going to want to sell. They're going to want to go up. I want a newer home. I want to be in a nicer part of town. I want to be on the golf course. Or I want to trade down. My house is too big. My kids are gone. I want to, I want to ring the register. I said this was coming. I did say it's probably not going to start till April or May. The fact that it started in February tells me watch out for April and May because it's going to
Oh,
be bananas.
and let me add to that though, Michael. When you said it's not going to start till April or May, well, in our area, our median home price is low. It's the lowest in all of Southern California.
Yeah.
So by default, there is no January. I mean, there's no February, March, April.
Yeah.
It's just now because there's no inventory. You think there's no inventory up here? In Southern California, there's zero inventory when there's 20 people waiting for one house.
Wow.
And it's like, and there is no end in sight. So this is just going. Builders, this is the other thing let me add. I spoke to a few panels of builders, and they are buying every piece of dirt you can find. KB homes, Richmond, all kinds of track homes because there's not enough houses. So the demand has not been met. It's not going to get met for a while, not unless we have an economic downturn where it's a financial crisis on the other side, not resident, not real estate related, because now it's all legitimate, qualifications. But it's interesting because now, because of that, they're buying millions of dollars worth of dirt.
Yeah.
So that leads me to believe that we probably are going to be in this boat for another solid 18 months. I mean, they're not going to sit there and project millions of dollars on houses. But right now, being that there's more and more people coming to our area and in your area and in other surrounding cities, then you have to supply that demand. So, feed the need to the people. And if that happens, we sustain a good trajectory the next 12 months to 18.
Yeah, I think 18 months is the right number. And I think I've actually put that out there. I see a very active and frankly healthy real estate market, residential real estate market outside of the big cities, right? Outside of San Francisco and New York.
Oh yeah.
Outside of those. It's going to be a good time to eat if you catch my drift. New agents. Yeah. Get ready. I mean, yeah, get ready now, get your systems, tie in with whoever's going to do your photographs and staging and whatever it is, because it's going to become an efficiency game. It's going to be how many transactions can I truly juggle?
And that right there, you said it. Efficiency is so flipping key. Literally.
Yeah. If I was an agent right now, I would spend all of February. I would be breaking down my last 7 transactions, like on a whiteboard, days, time, people involved. And I'd be looking for ways to streamline, remove time, or remove friction, because that is going to allow you to do potentially 2 or 3x. And some of your agents are going to have that opportunity. Others will try and crumble. They won't be able to handle it.
Too much pressure.
Yeah. It's just like, oh, I can't get there. And then suddenly they're not taking deals and people go elsewhere. There will be plenty of money made in the next 18 months.
Oh,
all right. So that's brokerage. Yes. So where about you, the investor? What are you seeing there?
It's, everyone wants to sell. And this is one thing I'm going to tell you. There is an abundance of wholesalers. Okay.
Yeah, no joke.
There is an abundance of wholesalers that never bought houses. They don't know the business per se. All they know is to get a contract signed and hope that they can sell it for $5,000 to $10,000 to $15,000 to $20,000. Mm-hmm. And the ones that are inexperienced, they try to get $50,000 and take all the meat off the bone.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's cool. It's smart. It's the gig right now that everybody's playing. But I'm going to tell you something that from what I'm seeing a ton of wholesalers send me their properties, and I have about 2 or 3 of them that I'm buying, and a couple of them I'm keeping. And it's like, I'm sitting back and it's like, why wouldn't you keep this house?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, then you're playing the game wrong. Maybe you don't have the cash flow because, you have to have all the systems in place. But I'm seeing an abundance of even normal sellers reaching out to me and asking me, hey, what's my house worth on the market? I don't want to be inconvenienced with a bunch of people walking in. And I literally was at a listing appointment, not a purchase appointment, a listing appointment the other day, and an old client. This is why the database is key. And they said, "Hey, Omar, can you guys buy it?
Hmm.
I know you buy a lot of homes.
Yeah.
What can you give us for the house?"
Yeah.
And I said, "Well, you can leave everything the way it is. I'll go ahead. This is my offer. And then this is the market offer. You're going to make about 25 to 30 grand more if you listed the property."
Right.
I said, no, this is good. This is perfect. Let's just,
Yeah, we're happy. Let's go.
house is worth 300 and I'm buying it for 215.
There you go.
And it's like, at what point do you stop buying, Michael? And I want to ask you that. You've been in this business a long, long time in the game. You hold a lot of properties. You have a lot of nut that goes out, obviously, on a monthly basis, but you got a lot of coming in too. So on the flip side of this, I want to keep 4, 5, 6, doors this year to add to the portfolio, which I think I'm going to hit in Q1.
Yeah, you're going to hit by March.
Exactly. And then what? Okay. Do I, continue to flip? Because this is the part that a lot of investors that want to get in this game, they'll do 1 or 2 deals and they feel great.
Yeah.
Now you want to start scaling. Well, you better have some cash.
Yeah.
You better have a team. And I forgot your monthly interest payment, because you're not paying cash for every property.
Yeah.
And to a tune of $30,000-$40,000 a month. So
easy. Yeah.
Do your math.
Yeah.
And I'm asking you now, from the professional here, and at what point do you stop buying and just figuring out your portfolio, your empire?
You know what? We're going to make that topic number 2, because I want that to be its own video. We're going to get into that in topic number 2. But basically what this first video is going to be is 2021 is starting fast. Get your systems in place. It's going to be a good 18 months. I think that's a great wrap up. We'll shut this down and we'll get into topic number 2. When to stop buying, or what should you do? That's going to be fun to talk about. Thanks, man.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.